Hachette Audio presents The Language Puzzle, piecing together the 6 million year story of how words evolved. Written by Steven Mithen. Read by Kerry Hutchinson. To Sue Mithen for all her wise words. Preface. How, when and why language evolved have been enduring questions since the time of Plato and most probably long before. Although always of interest, I avoided addressing these questions directly in my two previous books about the evolution of the human mind, The Prehistory of the Mind, 1996, and The Singing Neanderthals, 2005. Several other scholars were putting forward fascinating ideas and theories about language, but they were neglecting other aspects of the evolving mind that I wanted to address, notably creative thought and music. As much as I tried to avoid language, however, I kept being drawn towards it, as the most fundamental aspect of the modern mind. Proposals for how, when and why language evolved continued to be published throughout the last 2 decades. While I read and applauded many accounts, none appeared satisfactory. Some drew primarily on evidence from one discipline, such as linguistics or anthropology, but could be readily discounted by evidence from another, such as archaeology or psychology. Others dealt with one aspect of language while neglecting others, or provided elegant scenarios for how language evolved, but entirely lacked a chronology for when that occurred. Hypotheses came and went with considerable speed, often reflecting the pace of new discoveries about the past, the brain, and language itself. I suspected any contribution I could make would be of similar transient value. But I continued to think about the language questions, discussed them with my colleagues and students, and read in as many subject areas as I could manage. The questions were never far from my mind as I undertook my excavations to find Stone Age artifacts, the makers of which had been silenced by the passage of time. Around 2020, I began to suspect that embedded in the recent research of linguists and archaeologists, of computer scientists and anthropologists, of philosophers, psychologists and geneticists, were the fragments of a comprehensive account for language evolution. An account that could build the necessary bridges between disciplines and would stand the test of time despite the inevitability of new discoveries and new ideas. Finding those fragments from within so many disciplines was only half the challenge.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?